Inside Oceanside, your monthly magazine about the people, issues, and events in Oceanside.
Hello, and welcome to Inside Oceanside, a 30-minute monthly magazine about Oceanside. I'm your co-host, Don Williamson.
And I'm Terry Hubbard. Here at Inside Oceanside, we look at the people, events, and issues that make up our Oceanside community.
This edition comes from inside the Oceanside Public Library, and we're going to be looking at Highway 76 and what that means to the city of Oceanside.
We'll also look at some issues surrounding the proposed trash transfer stations for Vista and Oceanside, and we'll update you on the Manchester Hotel project.
And in Community Snapshots, we'll take a look at what's been going on in Oceanside, and we'll preview what's going to happen on next month's show. The Oceanside Unified School District has a zero-tolerance policy in relation to violence. When new Superintendent Ken Noonan first put that policy in place, many parents questioned what would happen to their children.
And our lead story looks at the school district's answer.
Good morning. I love you and I like you.
Oceanside Unified School District started a new policy this school year that would suspend and possibly expel students who hurt, threaten to hurt, or intimidate other students on school campuses. The zero-tolerance policy created a great deal of support and opposition from people all over San Diego County. Most of the opposition were concerned that students who were expelled under the zero-tolerance policy would not get an education. Oceanside School District's answer to that concern, Challenges Community Day School. Challenges is a classroom at the Mission San Luis Rey Parish where children in kindergarten through 6th grade receive reading, writing, spelling, math, science, and social studies in an intense classroom situation with teacher Janie Leverett and an instructional aide.
Challenges is a special program because students have needs, and this school has been created by the district to meet the students' needs so they're able to continue their education and not have to go home and wait for a later time to come back or enter school at a later date. Challenges give students the opportunity to continue that education, but also to deal with their environment. And I think their environment is a problem in their lives at this time because they have found themselves lost in that environment, are struggling to survive with the other students in their classrooms, other teachers, and this gives them a time to step out and take a look at themselves or to examine what they're doing in the classroom so they can go back as a whole person and not as a part of a person.
We had a chance to talk with Superintendent Ken Noonan about the zero-tolerance policy and what he hopes to accomplish with Challenges Community Day School.
We provide a safe environment for those kids, especially the elementary kids. We have a special class for them. It's located at the San Luis Rey Mission. It is run by the school district. A teacher from the district is in charge, and those children are at school every day. They have the option of going to school every day while they're expelled or while they're awaiting an expulsion hearing, while they're on suspension. So those kids are in school, and they're learning, and they're also dealing with the teacher and with the counselors, dealing with the issues of anger management and dealing with the issues that got the kids in trouble the first time. So when they go back to school, there's been some intervention in terms of helping children understand how to behave in a social setting and get along with other kids.
Deputy Superintendent Carol Dillard is the administrator who oversees Challenges Community Day School. This is what she had to say about the program.
Primary goal is to continue the child's education, but at the same time to identify some strategies and techniques that will be helpful in working with that student, to provide interventions, to give them, arm them with those kinds of things that will be useful for them when they go back to the school. We want the teachers, the administration at the school to work closely with Challenges to identify different intervention techniques that will be useful for the child when they return back to the home school.
Members of the Oceanside School Board have received feedback from community members both in support of the program and in opposition to the program. Thus far, the board stands behind its original zero-tolerance policy.
Well, I think the main issue is how it was handled, how it has been handled. And I give the accolades to Superintendent Noonan for the way he's handled the situation. We do have a zero tolerance, but we have made adjustments. And as board members, we do have questions. We do play the devil advocate many times, but again, as a board, we are very unified to know that we did have a problem in our campus, and not only in our campus, any campus in the United States. And we are going to stand by our word. And again, it's the way it's been handled, not what we're doing, but how we're doing it. And that has been very helpful to the board members and also the feedback from the public to say, again, hang in there.
Oceanside School District received some opposition earlier this year to its new zero-tolerance policy. But parent Lisa Del Aguila, whose son returned to his regular school after spending a month at Challenges Community Day School, has something very different to say about the program.
I felt a little apprehensive at the beginning because we weren't sure what it was about and how the children would get along and how the children would respond to the teacher. Mrs. Leverett is the absolute best, and it was a very good experience altogether. More than anything, at the end of the program, my son was ready. He is much more confident, he holds his head up, and he shines. I think it was a good experience for him to be in the program. He was ready, and so was I.
Just 2 months old, Challenges Community Day School appears to be on the road to success, giving students from Oceanside Unified School District a second chance to start over.
And second chances are important for these students. It's nice to see the district understands.
And you know, it's also good to see that the city of Oceanside understood people would be apprehensive when they heard a trash transfer site might be coming to their neighborhood.
Citizens of East Oceanside have been concerned lately about a trash transfer station in Vista. I asked the Assistant City Manager, Dana Whitson, about the possible advantages and disadvantages of having a trash transfer station in Vista. Let's hear what she had to say. What exactly is a trash transfer station?
Well, as the name implies, a transfer facility is a building where trash is transferred from the collection trucks that pick it up at people's homes into larger trucks that would carry the solid waste to the landfill.
How is Oceanside taking care of its trash right now?
Well, right now we have a collection system known as the WMS system. It's very unique, it's patented. It's a one-of-a-kind system that's available only through our hauler. So we're fortunate that Waste Management, our hauler, has this system, but by the same token, we're captive of this particular system. And the system we're using right now collects the trash on the collection truck in a pod, that large cylindrical portion on the back of the truck. The pod actually removes from the truck, is placed on the ground, and then later is hoisted onto a transfer vehicle that takes 3 pods at one time to the landfill that we're using in Orange County. Last fall, the Oceanside City Council approved a strategic plan for solid waste that said that the city would try and gain access to a solid waste transfer facility. We believe that conservatively the city could save about $700,000 a year if we had a transfer facility. But we wanted to get all of the public's input before we even pursued any particular site. So we started having a series of meetings this year that considered both the Vista site as a possibility that we could participate with them, also a site that the city owns at our City Operations Center, a site that Waste Management had offered on their existing yard on Industry Street, and lately the citizens have also asked us to consider a site in the Oceanside Airport Industrial Park area. Obviously, trash transfer facilities are very controversial. Public's got a high degree of concern, and so they wanted to have an opportunity to hear about all the sites. And I think that while there's still concerns, that they appreciate the fact that the City of Oceanside started early on to get their input and to have their questions answered before any decisions are made. Trash transfer facilities are broadly used. They're used all over the nation and the world, so it's not a unique kind of facility. Like just about any kind of land use that you have, there are certain impacts, but they can be mitigated. The ones that we've heard most frequently from people about are noise, odor, traffic, aesthetic impact. Interestingly enough, if we installed a transfer facility in Oceanside, we would actually reduce the number of truck trips, because our current WMS system can carry less tonnage than a conventional transfer truck. Our rough cost estimate would be about $3 million.
And how long would it take to build such a site? And how long would it be expected to stay running and operated? And is it something that Oceanside could feasibly afford to keep running and operated?
Well, that $700,000 a year that I said was a savings, that's after we pay for the annual cost of a trash transfer facility. We would save $700,000 a year over our current cost for the current system that we have for getting the trash to the landfill. So clearly there's a savings, and we could afford to do that. Well, it would take conservatively a minimum of 18 months to permit and develop a transfer facility. Once it's constructed, these are large industrial buildings. They've got a long life, at least 25-year lifespan, I would think. We've had a series of workshops where we've invited the public in to bring their concerns, their questions. We've also taken citizens on two tours of transfer facilities. The first tour was of relatively primitive transfer facilities here in the nearby area, one in Escondido, one in Carlsbad. And then we recently took the citizens to one up in Riverside County and one in San Bernardino County that are brand new, that have state-of-the-art facilities.
Whether there's a trash transfer station in Vista or Oceanside, the City Council, the residents, and other organizations involved have their work cut out for them in the months ahead.
It'll be interesting to see what the city decides. We'll keep you updated on new developments.
And speaking of new developments, Highway 76 is developed all the way from I-5 to Mission Avenue. But when's it going to go to the eastern end of the city?
And when it is finished, what does it mean for Oceanside? Let's find out.
From its beginning construction in 1995 to the present, Highway 76 has come a long way. The Highway 76 project has been in the planning for well over 20 years. I spoke to City Engineer Peter Weiss about the future plans of Highway 76 and its surrounding neighborhoods, such as the Morrow Hills Country Club Village. Here's what Peter Weiss had to say about the project. What can you tell me about the Highway 76?
The Highway 76 project is still under construction. We, in conjunction with Caltrans, just opened up the Town Center North intersection, which is out just west of College Boulevard. The signalized intersection is now open, and Caltrans and their contractor Rasmussen are now starting the work on the remaining portion of the entire stretch from the drive-in theaters out to Jeffries Ranch Road. Traffic is going to be shifted over onto some of the completed portions of the roadway here in the next few weeks, with major construction efforts and grading work being undertaken on the other half of the road. They've essentially building the road in two phases, one half first and then the other half, which is what they're going to be starting on coming up here real soon. Primarily, it takes traffic off of Mission Avenue, which started becoming highly congested and became problematic over the last few years with the increase in development that we've had and with the businesses opening. What this will do is provide greater access both for citizens within Oceanside and also for people outside of Oceanside. With 76 completed, it'll be a significant way of travel from the Inland Empire to the coast. And in fact, 76 is the most northerly direct access from the Inland Empire to the ocean, and hopefully it'll be seen that way and bring additional tourism to the city and bring additional people to the city that may not have come in the past. We are working with a number of the businesses that are going to be affected, that as traffic leaves Mission Avenue and goes on to the Expressway, we see that there's some opportunities there to work with the businesses to try to get some enhanced signing, work with them a little bit to try to figure out what they can do to make sure they can not lose business but capture some additional business that they may not have had in the past. But we recognize that with 76 opening up, Mission Avenue is going to see a reduction in traffic. And there's going to need to be some efforts made with those businesses to deal with that as they move forward in the future during that time period until the traffic on Mission Avenue comes back up. And we do expect that at some point in time that the traffic on Mission will start picking back up while there's also the commuter traffic.
Are the differences between an expressway and a highway that an expressway is in the city, or what classifies the two, makes them different?
An expressway has signalized intersections similar to an interchange. It's at grade, but they have signals at each location. It has, they're spaced at different mile spacings, and they have restricted access. As you get to a highway, then there may not be a signal at every intersection. There's different access points. And it's just a different classification that the state has as they classify their roads. With the number of units that's being proposed in the Morrill Hills area, then in order for them to be able to build, they need 76 to provide adequate access in and out. It's a significant number of homes. It's going to have a significant impact on circulation in that area, but it's not anything that can't be overcome with improvements that the project is making, and they've gotten a list of street and intersection improvements that they have to put in to help alleviate the problems that with the additional traffic that the project will cause. But also with 76 being in, it makes the access to the Morrill Hills Country Club that much better because it does provide some easier access than what you have now into that area. And we think with that project and with 76, we're on a path to see some opportunities here that we haven't seen in the past.
It sounds like Oceanside is on its way, and the Highway 76 project is going to be an asset to the city's growth.
Stay tuned, because after this short break, we'll show you the 1998 Miss Oceanside Pageant.
And we'll see opening day of the Little League at Recreation Park.
We'll also give you an update on the Manchester Hotel project that you don't want to miss.
And there'll be plenty of other exciting things happening in your town, so don't go away.
As soon as I started taking music classes, I went from getting C's and B's to getting almost all A's. And I really believe that that had a lot to do with it. So the formal education of music, it's really important because I think children need that in order to get that inspiration and get the kind of discipline ideas that will help them later in life.
Thanks for staying with us. In the next segment, we're going to look at the proposed hotel for the Oceanside Pier. And if you want to read more about it, check out the current issue of Oceanside magazine. You can get a copy right here at the Oceanside Public Library.
And the hotel project is now in its negotiating stage. Let's take a look at what we can expect.
I'm here at the heart of the future site for the Manchester Hotel project here in Oceanside. All you see around me is sand and rocks all over the place. But in the year 2000, Oceanside will be the new home for the hotel and resort, a 4- to 5-star hotel here in Oceanside with a diversity of shops, restaurants, and recreational activities for the family. Downtown Oceanside will be going through many changes in the next few years. Speaking of changes and redevelopment, here's Oceanside's Director for Redevelopment, Eli Sanchez.
Mr. Manchester projects that it would, after successfully entering into an agreement, disposition and development agreement with the Community Development Commission, that it would take them approximately 1 year to do the construction drawings for the project, but that in the year 2000 that they would break ground, and he's expecting that the hotel would be open in the year 2002. Doug Manchester is the CEO of Manchester Resorts. Manchester Resorts is a privately held company that's headquartered in San Diego. Mr. Manchester was responsible for the development and construction of the Marriott Twin Towers and Marina at the Embarcadero in downtown San Diego, as well as the Hyatt Regency, and is currently working on another tower associated with this Hyatt Regency downtown.
Recently, KOCT hosted a hotel forum which included the builders for this project, Manchester, and for all you viewers, here are some of the plans that will be going on here in your city.
To design, develop, and manage high-quality landmark properties in the western United States, which preserve the beauty of their environments, enrich the lives of the residents, and enhance the community's economic vitality and quality of life. That's what we intend to do here in Oceanside.
This is the Emerging Oceanside. This is a tremendous opportunity to have a world-class Grand Hyatt here at your doorstep and becoming an integral part of your civic core, as well as that recreational setting that you're looking to develop in the 21st century.
Back in February, many of the residents here in Oceanside gathered here at the City Council chambers and spoke some of their opinions on behalf of the hotel and resort. Here are some of their thoughts.
We want our citizens not to stand and stare, but be participants, be able to avail themselves of the opportunities of their town.
You will be remembered in the future because this is a big project for Oceanside, and this will tell in the future, not now, but in the future, who you are.
Some concerns are mainly from the single families in Oceanside, the easy access to the pier or the bandshell. But what about the activities that take place on the pier?
Currently, we have a bandshell there that is very limited in regards to its backstage area, in regards to its lighting, its sound, and its staging amenities. So what we would be looking for is to upgrade those amenities and provide a venue that would assist with the marketing and be enjoyable for the participants and the spectators.
We are a diverse community, and I'd just like to list Cinco de Mayo, Juneteenth, Samoan Days, and July 4th as some of the things that happen in a 2-month period that we have to embrace, and I think we can do it with a world-class hotel.
Well, there you have it. The future face of Oceanside will turn heads and open eyes. This 3-tower, 4- to 5-star hotel and resort is expected to open in downtown Oceanside in the year 2002. It is a dream becoming a reality. What a great way to begin the millennium.
What an exciting project. I can't wait to see it finished.
Neither can I, especially since it means so much to the economic future of Oceanside.
And speaking of the future, could we have the next Miss USA right here in Oceanside?
What?
That story opens up this month's Community Snapshots here on Inside Oceanside.
On March 7th at El Camino High School, 23 young women competed for the Miss Oceanside title. The winner was Kristen Morgan, a student at National University.
Congratulations to Kristen and all the contestants. For a closer look at the Miss Oceanside pageant, see our upcoming half-hour special here on KOCT.
Also on March 7th, the American Little League opened and had their opening day ceremonies at Recreation Park. Fire Chief Dale Geldert was there and threw out the first pitch.
We want to wish all the Little Leaguers the best of luck this season. And on March 14th, the San Luis Rey Mission celebrated the signing of historical documents by Abraham Lincoln. William Peck, a member of the Association of Lincoln Presenters, was there to reenact the signing that gave all 21 California missions back to the Catholic Church.
On March the 18th, 1865, Abraham Lincoln signed the deed granting this property back to the Catholic Church, and along with the other missions, of course, in California. So after a long struggle of 12 years, after the bishop in Monterey had petitioned the U.S. government to return the missions, it was Abraham Lincoln's pleasure on that March 18th to sign the deeds and actually transfer the property back.
The celebration was part of the mission's 200th anniversary, which will be featured in the June edition of Inside Oceanside. We'll also highlight the first ever visit of the Vatican Choir to North America. You know, spring is here, and that means a lot of gardeners are hard at work. The city of Oceanside is offering them a helping hand with free mulch and compost at the El Corazon compost facility. The city first picks up residential yard trimmings, turns them into compost and mulch, and then gives away the final products to gardeners. But maybe the most important factor is that the city saves more than $1 million to offset increases in solid waste disposal costs.
That sounds like a great project. And if you want more information, you can call 439-9920. Well, the newest police resource center in Oceanside is now open. This one is located in the Palm Tree Shopping Plaza. One of the main goals of this resource center is to deter crime. They also put police and city services in neighborhoods where the citizens can easily use them. It's a prime example of community policing at its best.
Well, that does it for us today. Thanks for joining us on Inside Oceanside.
We'll see you next month, but before we go, here's what we've got planned for next month's show. We'll take a look at the programs offered by the Oceanside Housing Department.
And we'll feature the Senior Volunteer Police Patrol.
And we'll take you to the 1998 Day of Art in Oceanside.
If any of these stories interest you or you have issues you want to see us cover, we'd love to hear from you. Please fax or email us at the addresses on the screen.
Or you can just call us at KOCT 722-4433. As we leave you now, here's some scenes from the 1998 Miss Oceanside pageant. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Miss Oceanside, black hair, brown eyes, 5'6" tall, Christian